Today I'll be comparing Zegna's iconic triple stitch slip-on sneaker with Hogan's H365, which is competing in the very same category but at a much more reasonable price that is half that of the Zegna brand. Kicked off the slip-on sneaker craze in the luxury segment, at least in 2014, and now there are so many competitors out there that I thought it would be nice to compare it to one that is also coming out of Italy. We do get a full grain calf leather upper on the Hogan, and it is comprised out of 8 different pieces of leather, while the Zegna only comprises of 3 pieces of deer leather. The Hogan comes with a rubber cup sole and is neatly stitched all around. And after wearing them for a few days, I can say there is a little more cushioning going on with the Hogan. Zegna also features its own proprietary rubber cup sole, and I would say they're both pretty much on par. The Hogan, to me, subjectively, is just a little bit more comfortable. But because everyone's feet are different, you may have to try this for yourself. Now, if we look at the insoles, the Hogan comes with a foam insole that is pretty thick in direct comparison, as you can see here. Just the heel alone is about 3 millimeters higher, which may not sound like much, but it is noticeable. And both have a thin layer of calfskin leather on top of the sole. Now, due to the raised heel, you get a little bit more arch support on the Hogan insole, and here you can see the cutout. And I will note that the Hogans do not have the same perforation, and for those who care, here's a bottom side comparison of the two. You get a compressed fiberboard on the inside of the Hogan, whereas the Zegna by direct comparison are completely sewn shut, so the only thing we can see here is a partial leather lining, as well as a perforated layer of felt that extends all the way to the front of the shoe. Now, this will arguably absorb a little bit more moisture than pure leather, so I'll leave it down to everyone to decide for themselves what they prefer in this regard. Now, when it comes to the heel, the Hogan has a composite heel counter that is incredibly stiff and runs along the line of this piece of leather, so there's no way that you can bend this even when stepping in there without a shoe tree or shoehorn. Meanwhile, the Zegna Triple Stitch has no noticeable heel counter at all, so you can actually bend the heel entirely flat and make this sort of a slipper if you want to, although I would not recommend this. You can see the finishing on the Hogan is flawless. You get rolled edges all around. Every stitch is where it's supposed to be, and I'm very impressed with the overall fit and finish, especially considering that this shoe costs just half of the Triple Stitch and really doesn't compromise on any quality markers. It should be noted that while Hogan is mainly made in Italy, this pair was made in Albania, so they're sourcing around a little bit. The Zegna has become an iconic and very recognizable shoe, so you're not going to get the same badge credibility with the Hogan, despite the fact that they carry an H on the side, which for the untrained eye may look like an Hermes sneaker, but who's counting? So overall, I think the Hogan is a very viable alternative that I'm definitely going to consider more often when looking for slip-on sneakers, especially because they have a lot more colors to choose from in different smooth grain leathers. But let me know what you think in the comments, and until next time, stay cozy.